sa inyong lahat mga katinig at muli nating susuriin ang isang napakatapang na hakbang na yumanig sa loob ng mababang kapulungan. Hindi matatawaran ang paninindigan ni Caloocan Representative Edgar Aries matapos niyang ilantad ang tunay na dahilan sa likod ng kanyang biglaang pagkakatanggal bilang Senior Deputy Minority Leader. Sa kanyang madamdaming privilege speech, hindi natakot si Aries na banggitin ang pangalan ng Majority Leader na si Sandro Marcos na ayon sa kanya ay siyang nasa likod ng pressure upang siya ay tuluyang maalis sa pwesto. Binigyang diin ni Aries na ang tanging kasalanan niya ay ang pagiging matapat na boses ng oposisyon at ang kanyang walang takot na pagpuna sa mga pulisya ng Administrasyong Marcos, partikular na ang issue ng flood control at ang usaping anti-political dynasty. Ayon kay Aries, tahasang hiningi ni Sandro Marcos ang kanyang pagkakaalis dahil hindi umano matanggap ng liderato ang kanyang mga lehitimong kritisismo na tumatama sa mismong pamilya ng Pangulo. Dito natin nakita ang isang leader na mas piniling mawala ng posisyon kaysa manahimik sa harap ng mga maling sistema sa ating gobyerno. Sa gitna ng kanyang pagsasalita, pilit siyang hinarang at pinatatahimik ni Janet Garin na tila naging tagapagtanggol ng mayorya. Ang linyang "patapusin mo ako pwede" ay hindi lamang isang simpleng sagutan, kundi isang pagsisigaw ni Aries para sa kanyang karapatang magsalita para sa taumbayan na pilit binubusalan ng mga nasa kapangyarihan. Kitang-kita ang tensyon ni na Aries at Garin kung saan buong tapang na hinarap ni Aries ang mga pagtatangka na baliwalain ang kanyang mga seryosong akusasyon laban kay Sandro Marcos. Ipinaliwanag ni Aries na ang dynastic politics at ang clout ng pamilya Marcos sa loob ng Kongreso ang siyang pumapatay sa tunay na demokrasya at malayang diskurso. Para kay Aries, ang pagpapatalsik sa kanya ay isang malinaw na mensahe ng pananakot sa sinumang mga ngahas na kumontra sa kagustuhan ng mga nasa itaas. Sa bawat talata ng kanyang talumpati, naramdaman ang bigat ng kanyang malasakit sa bayan at ang kanyang desisyon na huwag maging sunod-sunuran sa dikta ng mayorya. Kahit papilit siyang i-discredit ni Garin at ng iba pang mambabatas, ang katotohanang inilatag ni Aries tungkol sa impluwensya ni Sandro Marcos ay nag-iwan ng malaking katanungan sa publiko. Hanggang kailan hahayaan ang ganitong uri ng pamumulitika? Ang bakbakang ito ni na Aries at Garin ay nagsilbing patunay na mayroon pa ring mga mambabatas na handang isakripisyo ang kanilang career para lamang maiparating ang tunay na tinig ng bayan sa loob ng plenaryo. Kaya naman mga katinig, ano ang inyong opinyon sa naging pasabog na ito ni Aries laban kay Sandro Marcos? Sangayon ba kayo na isang uri ng pag-abuso sa kapangyarihan ang pagkakaalis sa kanya dahil lamang sa kanyang pagiging kritiko? Naniniwala ba kayo na si Aries ang tunay na boses na dapat pakinggan sa gitna ng mga yes men sa gobyerno? Ikomento na ang inyong mga matatapang na saloobin sa ibaba at huwag kalimutang i-share ang videong ito para malaman ng ating mga kababayan ang tunay na sakripisyo ng mga leader na hindi nagpapabili sa kapangyarihan. Siguraduhin ding nakasubscribe kayo para lagi kayong updated sa mga ganitong klaseng pagsusuri dito sa Tinig ng Bayan.
Well, I just have to explain my side because I was suddenly removed and replaced as the senior deputy minority leader yesterday.
Would you like to transfer to the majority? The Honorable Egay Herisi has 10 minutes. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yesterday, I was removed and replaced as senior deputy minority leader without any stated reason. But let me say this clearly. I have no bitterness about my replacement. In fact, I am honored that I was replaced by a fellow liberal and a far stronger fighter for truth and justice, Congresswoman Laila De Lima. She is a former senator, a former secretary of justice, and a woman who sacrificed 6 years of her life in prison for standing up against abuses in government and for speaking for the truth. If there is anyone more worthy to take my place, it is Congresswoman Laila De Lima. Papasalamat din po ako kay Minority Leader Nonoy Libanan. Alam ko po na nakatali ang kanyang mga kamay. Malaki na rin po ang kanyang sakripisyo sapagkat madalas siyang tinatawagan ni Majority Leader Sandro Marcos dahil sa aking tuloy-tuloy na kritisismo sa mga pulisiya ng Administrasyong Marcos. Policies, ulitin ko po, policies, not personal attacks. Mr. Speaker, I believe that I have faithfully performed my duty as Senior Deputy Minority Leader. I have raised questions. I have spoken the truth. I have offered well-meaning criticisms in the interest of accountability. But it appears that this House leadership does not welcome criticisms. And that, Mr. Speaker, is the real problem of dynastic politics. When the President of the Republic has a son serving as Majority Leader of this House, there is an unavoidable conflict of interest when a son becomes overly protective of his father instead of protecting the integrity of legislation. Some time ago, I spoke about the failure of President Marcos to protect the integrity of the 2023, 2024, and 2025 national budget. This Congress inserted and diverted some 1.45 trillion in the national budget. This is unprecedented in the history of our country. Defunding major foreign assisted projects and even the computer-generated maintenance allocations for our national highways. Kaya nagkasira-sira na po ang ating mga major highways. Funds from the PhilHealth and the PDIC were also diverted. Money that should have protected the health and savings of our people, only to end up in ghost projects or substandard infrastructure. And so I ask, why did President Marcos allow this? Why did his cabinet remain silent? How could such massive diversions happen under his watch? Mr. Speaker, it is difficult to believe that this could happen without the knowledge, if not the tolerance, of the President himself, especially when the Speaker then of this House is his own close relative. Hindi pa po ako tapos magsalita nang ako ay sunduin ni Minority Leader Congressman Libanan at dalhin sa opisina ni Majority Leader Sandro Marcos. Pagdating po namin, nandoon na rin si Speaker Bogie D. Nakaupo po ako, tahimik ako, sinita ako ni Congressman Marcos at tinanong, ano yun? I replied that the anti-political dynasty advocacy has long been one of my advocacies. Ngunit sinabi niya, hindi yun. Inaatake mo ang aking ama. Ang sagot ko, ang kritisismo ay nakakatulong upang maituwid ang mga pagkakamali kung bukas ang isip ng mga nakikinig. Ngunit, Mr. Speaker, bakit kailangan questionin ng isang miyembro ng kapulungang ito ang aking talumpati? Kung may mali, kung may kasinungalingan, bakit hindi ako debatihin dito mismo sa plenaryo? Sa aking pag-aaral, sa aking patuloy na pagtatanong, lalo kong nauunawaan kung gaano kalaking pandarambong sa pondo ng bayan ang naganap sa loob ng 3 taon ng Administrasyong Marcos. Lalo pa nang ipakita sa akin ni Congressman Leandro Libiste ang ilang datos na tila nagpapakita na ang pamahalaan ay parang pinapatakbo ng isang sindikato. I intend to discuss this further in a separate privileged speech. Mr. Speaker, every day I pray to the Lord to give me the courage and wisdom of discernment on what I should do with the responsibility entrusted to me. Madali sana para sa akin ang manahimik. Madali sana para sa akin na sumabay na lamang sa agos upang masiguro na mas tahimik ang buhay at baka manalo pa uli ako sa eleksyon sa 2028. Madali sana para sa akin na itigil na ang laban na ito na maaring tawagin ng iba na recklessness at padalos-dalos. But there is a greater calling, something that I cannot ignore, no matter how inconvenient it may be for me and for my family. Something that I cannot close my eyes. Just like when the Lord called Abraham and said, "Go from your country and your father's home to the land that I will show you." And Abraham followed without hesitation. He followed the Lord. Even the uncertainty is unimaginable because he trusted that the Lord would guide him and that he was doing something for God and for his fellow men. For me, what I'm doing is a bit risky. But that would already be an honorable life to live, despite all my weaknesses. 2 weeks ago, may isang gabinete ang kinausap ako. Sinabi sa akin, Egay, ang tingin ng Malacanang, Sara Duterte ka. Sabi ko po, nung panahon ng mga Duterte, ako po yung kauna-unahan na nagsalita laban sa war on drugs. Tinanggalan pa nga ako ang distrito ng aking pondo ng 1 taon. Pero sila, Presidente Marcos, they enabled Duterte. Si Speaker Romualdez, Majority Leader, he enabled the war on drugs. Yung mga kasama natin na nagpo-prosecute ngayon kay Duterte, they enabled war on drugs. Ako po, nakipaglaban. At hindi ko po nilalabanan ang dinastiya ng Marcos lamang. Nilalabanan ko rin ang dinastiya ng mga Duterte sapagkat alam ko na ang punot dulo ng korupsyon dito sa ating bansa ay ang pataba at ngayon mabubundat ng mga political dynasties. Sabi sa akin, Egay, yung mga salita mo nakakapagpalakas kay Sara Duterte. Sabi ko, mali yan. Secretary, ang nagpapalakas kay Duterte ay ang patuloy ng mga palpak na polisiya ng Administrasyong Marcos. Sinabi magpapakulong December 15, nagpakulong ba kahit isa? Sinabi ipapasa yung Independent Commission for Infrastructure na mag-iimbestiga. Pinasa ba? Binola lang kami. Sabi, magpapasa ng isang makatotohanang anti-political dynasty, ipa-priority. Ano nangyari? Sa halip na anti-political dynasty ang pinasa ng Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms, ito po ay pro-political dynasties. Hindi lang magpapataba, magpapabundat pa sa mga dinastiya dito sa ating bansa. Today, I bow out as Senior Deputy Minority Leader of this House. But I am even more emboldened to be a stronger voice against what is wrong with our system. I may no longer have the position. I may no longer have the committee membership. But I still have the knowledge. I still have the experience. And I have still the voice and commitment to stand against what is unjust, what is corrupt, and what is abusive. I am no longer Senior Deputy Minority Leader, but I will be the equalizer in this House. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, my colleagues, until my next privilege speech. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker,
Majority Leader.
maraming
Speaker,
salamat, Mr.
I move to
Speaker.
recognize the Honorable Deputy Speaker Janet Garin.
Deputy
Is my
Speaker Janet.
distinguished
Deputy
Deputy
colleague,
Speaker Janet Dillon is now recognized.
he is my distinguished colleague and a very good friend during the Aquino administration, willing to yield to some questions. Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker. Maraming salamat din sa ating mga kasamahan. I decided to interpolate and ask a few questions to our distinguished colleague, Mr. Speaker, dahil medyo nalito ako nung ang pinag-usapan ay ang posisyon ng Senior Deputy Minority Leader, pero tila nalihis ang kanyang speech patungo sa pagpupuntirya na majority ang may kasalanan. May I inquire, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, to the Honorable Egay Erice, paano po ba pinipili ang isang Senior Deputy Minority Leader?
Well, alam na po natin yan, Sir Speaker. Hindi lang naman ngayong administrasyon na ito, ng mga nakaraang administrasyon, hindi po tayo pumipili talaga ng minority leader kung walang blessing ng leadership ng House.
Ibig sabihin, Distinguished Speaker, nung ikaw ay naging Senior Deputy Minority Leader, ito ay may sabwatan sa mayorya?
Ang ganito po ang nangyari, nung ako po inirekomenda na Senior Deputy Minority Leader ni dating Senior Deputy Minority Leader Paul Dasa.
Well,
Hinirap
Mr.
po ako, excuse me po,
Mr.
tapusin
Speaker,
niyo lang
I
po
have
ako.
the name Senior Deputy Minority Leader.
Noong 19th Congress.
Well,
Paul
Mr.
Dasa. Hindi,
Paul
nirekomenda
Dasa.
niya po ako. Sabi niya, kakausapin niya si Minority Leader Nonoy Libanan upang ako ang kanyang maging kahalili.
Ibig sabihin, Mr. Speaker, ang
Hindi ba po
ating
ako tapos?
kagalang-galang
Hindi ba
na
po?
kasamahan na si Honorable
Patapusin niyo
Egay
muna ako, bakit niyo ako
Erice ay
tanungin?
hindi pinili ng minorya?
But,
Because that is...
kaya nga po, patapusin niyo ako para may kwento ko lahat. Pwede?
Yeah, but can
Kung
I
pwede lang ako. Kung pwede, pagkatapos pwede niyo ako
can I
tanungin.
have a direct answer, Mr. Speaker?
I am directly answering you.
Yeah, Mr.
But,
Speaker, my question is
Honorable-
very simple. Napili ba siya ng isang former member of the House? Because that is very
Nirekomenda
unparliamentary.
po. He's putting some words on my mouth.
Honorable-
Ang sinabi ko po, nirekomenda
Session
ko
suspended.
kay
You now
Mr.
have the floor.
Speaker, if I may, this is my 6th term in Congress. And this is the first time that I've heard that a former member of the House can recommend. Will that be tantamount to dictating to the members of the minority? Because, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I was once a Senior Deputy Minority Leader of the 18th Congress, and we chose our officers among ourselves. Hindi po kami nagpadikta, at yan po ay katanungan natin sa ating mga kasamahan sa minorya. Well, I'll do laud and respect the Honorable Egay Erice. And of course, I very much welcome the election of the Honorable Laila De Lima, the new Senior Deputy Minority Leader. I believe, Mr. Speaker, itong mga bagay-bagay that should be a concern of the minority because they elect the officers among themselves. In fact, our rules, Mr. Speaker, says, kapag tayo ay nagbobotohan, nagboboto tayo kung sino ang ating magiging speaker. At yung hindi bumoto sa nanalong speaker ay nagko-convene to elect not only the minority leader, Mr. Speaker, but also the senior deputy minority leader, the deputy minority leaders, and the assistant minority leaders. Ang punto lang dito, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I do empathize with the feelings and emotions of my good friend whom I idolize and a very good friend I had during the Aquino administration. Pero ang sa akin lang, Mr. Speaker, we do respect his voicing out. But let me also call his attention to what he says because I am an author of one of the proposals in the anti-political dynasty bill. Ang pagpaparatang na pinataba, ang pagpaparatang na tila, minanipulate, napakadami ng ating mga debate kahapon. And in fact, this is still being deliberated. It is still under the technical working group. Bakit po ba natin lalagyan ng mantsa ang ganitong bagay? In fact, Mr. Speaker, I did not stand up, but it is actually out of order to discuss an item that is precisely being deliberated within the committee. So, Mr. Chair, distinguished colleagues, with due courtesy to my distinguished colleague, naiintindihan ko na ang pagpalit ng liderato as Senior Deputy Minority Leader is something that we should respect because it is the decision of the minority. But accusing the majority of meddling in their affairs, accusing the majority of meddling in their voting or whatever is something that I cannot accept. There will always be a proper forum to air that. Somebody could have objected to the election. We were not even party to that. But Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, lahat tayo dito ay may karapatang tumayo. Lahat tayo ay may karapatang magsalita. Lahat tayo ay may karapatang ipaglaban ang ating pinaniniwalaan. But nobody has the monopoly of knowledge. Nobody has the monopoly that what he believes should be right. Dahil pwedeng ang paniniwala mo ay hindi paniniwala ng iyong mga kasamahan. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, let us respect the decision of the minority dahil hindi rin nila tayo pinapakialaman. But blaming the majority leader, the members of the majority, for what happened in their change in leadership is already unparliamentary and uncalled for. With that, Mr. Speaker, may I appeal to my good friend and our distinguished colleagues. We have tolerated and even heard all your stand on many issues. We have also conveyed and mentioned our stand on our side. Sometimes magkakasama tayo sa ibang issue, minsan hindi tayo nagsasama-sama. It's a matter of belief, idealism, and being the real voice of our people. So may I appeal to my distinguished good friend from the minority. Please spare us, the majority. Kung anuman ang nangyayari sa minorya, ay ating nirerespeto. But accusing the majority leader of holding the minority leader is something I believe the minority should stand up. Papayag ba ang minorya na sabihing tila sunod-sunuran lang kayo? Which I actually contradict, Mr. Speaker. Papayag ba kayong sabihing tila inipit dahil mga boses kayo? We have heard our distinguished colleagues here speak up on many matters. Ang sa akin lang, Mr. Speaker, let us put decorum in this House. I was also a member of the minority, then a member of the majority. I went back to the minority and became a member now of the majority, and we always stood firm, debating when we find the reason to do so, defending when it was time to defend our beliefs, but at the same time, accepting the decision of whatever will be the decision of the majority. With that, Mr. Speaker, just to point out, the anti-political dynasty bill is being discussed. At patuloy natin pag-uusapan yon at ipaglalaban natin yon. Let us not accuse any sponsor of saying, nagpapataba tayo ng mga dinastiya. And let us not accuse the majority of meddling with the election of the minority, because that is your concern and that is something that should be addressed by the minority. Do not drag us into the problem of your election of officers. Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker. Maraming salamat, distinguished colleague.
Mr. Speaker, may I respond?
Honorable Erice is now recognized.
Yes, Mr. I am not accusing the majority. I'm accusing the majority leader. Because he called me at his office. I was accompanied by the minority leader. At tinanong niya ako, mismo, bakit ako nagsalita ng gano'n? 65 years old na ako. 30 lang yung nagtatanong sa akin. Hindi na ako nirespeto. Tinatanong, bakit ko sinabi yung mga sinabi ko? Wala na ba akong karapatang magsalita bilang miyembro ng minorya? Madalas akong sabihan, ni minority, ito na ilibanan, pwede niyong tanungin. Tumatawag sa akin, si Sandro, nagre-reklamo sa mga salita mo. At kahapon, kinausap niya ako. Sabi niya, Egay, hindi ko na kaya ang pressure ng itaas. Kaya sabi ko, okay lang, para wala ka na rin problema. At sinasabi ko, pinararangal ko na ang papalit sa akin ay kasama ko sa Liberal Party. At mali rin po yung sinabi nyo na pinagdidebatihan pa sa technical working group. Tapos na po. Approved na sa Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms at ito ay dadali na po sa plenaryo for plenary debates. Kaya po, bakit ko po nasabing bundat? Simple lang po. Ang proposal po, isa sa national, isang governor, pwede. Kung ilang distrito, bawat distrito, pwedeng isa, magkakamag-anak. City mayor, kung 7 sa isang seat, sa isang probinsya, pwede, 7 magkakamag-anak na mayor. Kung ilan ang munisipyo, kung 20 magkakamag-anak na mayor. Kung 100 ang barangay captain, 100 barangay captain na magkakaanak, pwede. Yan po ay travesty of the Constitution. And meron pong karapatan ang mga mamamayan na magalit sa ganitong uri ng proposal na inaprubahan na ng Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reform. Salamat po.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, distinguished colleague, for that response. Ang sa akin lang, Mr. Speaker, I was just in a call with the Honorable Chairman of the Committee on Suffrage, the Honorable Zia Adyong. Hindi pa po tapos at ini-refer pa lang sa technical working group just to put it on record. And Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, my apologies, of course, to the Honorable Egay Arice that I had to stand up because as a member of the majority, and even if the majority leader is being directed to, wala pong kinalaman at hindi po parte ng mayorya ang affairs ng election ng officers of the minority. But with that, Mr. Speaker, let me just state for the record that in the several months that the Honorable Egay Erice has been a senior deputy minority leader, I laud him for his wisdom, I laud him for his stand, I laud him and salute him for some of the endeavors that we were together. However, on some opposing matters, I do stand up, pero ito lang po yung aking masasabi. I do hope that after this discussion, the minority will deal with their affairs independently from how the majority will also be dealing with our affairs. Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker. And again, my salute to the Honorable Egay Arice for being a performing senior deputy minority leader for the past few months. And my congratulations to our former Secretary of Justice, the new senior deputy minority leader, the Honorable Laila De Lima. Maraming salamat.
At dyan nagtatapos ang usapan natin ngayon. Kung may gusto kang idagdag o reaksyon, i-comment mo lang sa baba. Boses mo'y mahalaga. Huwag kalimutang i-like, share, at subscribe para sama-sama nating palakasin ang tinig ng bayan. Hanggang sa susunod, tandaan, ang may alam, may laban!
Awesome!